let's bring in Jeremy Brown. He's the market manager for the Oakland County Farmers Market. Jeremy, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody.
So I was by there this past Saturday. Not a big crowd, not a lot of vendors. How are things going, and when do things start to pick up?
Sure. So the market is open Saturdays year round. So January through April, it's Saturdays. Definitely slower in the off season. But we go back to our full schedule of Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday the first week of May. So May 1st, Saturday. And that's when you'll see all of the vendors coming back and the crowds coming back. Currently, we have probably about a dozen vendors right now, but we'll be up to 30 to 40 when we come to May, and we'll fill all 92 spots. But there's still a good selection here right now. There's some produce, there's early greens, there's microgreens. You'll find syrup, some of our handicrafters, a lot of baked goods. So there's still things to see and do out here. Our pansies are in right now for the early spring flowers. You'll find lots of succulents. So yeah, definitely slower right now, but things really, really pick up. Come the middle of May, we will see 5,000 to 6,000 people on a Saturday.
In the middle of the season, it can be even tricky getting in there and getting a parking space. So with that, when do you anticipate the return of the big crowds, and what advice do you have for people that maybe haven't been there over the past year?
Sure. So like I said, really May, we really start getting really busy. Of course, Saturdays is our busiest day. If you're going to come on a Saturday, I'd recommend that you come early or come late. So I would come before 8:30 a.m. or come after 11:30, because really that golden hours of 8:30 to 11:30, it's crazy. If you can come during the week, we're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesday's our slowest day with vendors and customers, but you're still going to find our main growers here. Thursday, we're going to have more of the handicrafters, more of the baked goods. So I'd recommend, if you can, come on a Tuesday or Thursday, but if you're going to do a Saturday, come early or come late. We've also had to make adjustments due to COVID, reducing some of the parking spots, spreading the vendors out, just in an effort to keep everybody safe.
So last year in the springtime, I know it was a big struggle for so many of our local farmers because they weren't able to, get a lot of their plantings in, and even finding workers to help them. So what does it look like this year? Do you anticipate they're over that wave and it'll be back to somewhat normal?
We're still going to have all of the plants and the produce that we've had in the past, because farmers, they figure all the plants that they're selling this spring, they planted them, 2 months ago. Yes, some of them have struggled with staffing, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be able to get everything you're looking for here. We've unfortunately had a few vendors drop off due to COVID, not comfortable coming, but I think some of the other growers have really stepped up to bring in more product to make up for that, for those losses. It's funny, last year with COVID, when things first shut down, we were only allowed to sell food. The plants were not allowed to be sold. They weren't considered essential like the food was. And then I believe it was like April 29th, I believe was a Friday, and we got the go ahead to sell plants. And the farmers were very, very happy, because again, they've spent months growing this stuff, and for them to be told they couldn't grow it or sell it, that was super tough. But it was that first weekend in May, we were allowed to sell the plants. So that was a huge hurrah here at the farmers market. But the farmers are adjusting, and they're a resilient group, and they're making it happen.
So please tell me the barbecue place is making a return. It
Yes,
smells so good when you drive up.
Yeah, they're actually here right now setting up. This will be their first weekend. And it's funny, the farmers, I always say the farmers are the foundation of the market. They really are. But my number one requested vendor is Redwood Grill down there at the end of the market. So they're here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. They'll have pulled pork, chicken legs, sausages. But what's kind of cool is when the produce starts coming in, they'll adjust what they have, and they'll make like a vegetable stir fry. They'll get jalapenos from the farmer and make their jalapeno poppers. So they're very much trying to use the products that are here at the market. They're actually very good to us too, in that they cook all the corn that's donated by Prelit Farms and Van Hootie Farms for our corn roast, which this year, I want to say it's September. Oh, I don't have it. I do have it in front of me. Corn roast is September 4th. So they've been super supportive of barbecue people, but it's funny you ask because that is the #1 requested vendor here at the markets. Funny enough.
So Jeremy Brown with us here on the MegaCast. He's the market manager for the Oakland County Farmers Market. The market has expanded so much over the past 5-7 years. How do you find new vendors and decide some of the new things that you're doing? Before COVID, the food trucks were really popular.
Sure. Unfortunately, due to COVID last year, well, let's take a step back. Parks and Recreation assumed management of the farmers market 10 years ago from the county, which was the facility maintenance and operation people, which was keep the lights on, keep the grass cut, and that was it. But farmers markets they've evolved a lot in the last 10 years. It's a place to come for an educational program, a special event, food assistance benefits, and things like that. But last year, due to COVID, unfortunately, we canceled pretty much everything that we do. Food truck rallies, community garage sales, art shows. Really the only the one program we did do was yoga at the market because that's on the grassy area. You can spread people out. But even with all of these activities being canceled, which I always considered added value things to the market, again, farmers are the foundation. But surprisingly enough, the guests still came. There was definitely pent up demand to get out. I think people were, they were cooped up and they were ready to start working on their lawns. So it was good. We also had new people that, they were maybe displaced from their job and have always had a large garden and wanted to just, supplement their unemployment really. And we actually had quite a few people coming that were displaced and needed some way to generate additional revenue. We don't do any advertising for vendors. We're very well established, been around in this location since 1953. Before that in Pontiac since 1922. So we're going on 100 years of history. So we get lots of people that just come to us. But as for how do we choose who participates, farmers always take priority at the market. This is a farmer's market. They have a product that's perishable. They have to come to market. So I'll let an unlimited amount of farmers come, even if there's duplication of products, because there's only so many things that can be grown. But in farmers, that also includes like the maple syrup, the honey people, and the meat people. Those are farmers as well. So it's an open door for them. But when it comes to like the handicrafters, that would be your jewelry people, your photographers, your bakers. You try and limit what you have of that because you have too many of one thing. It's not good for the ones that you have. For instance, I have 3 meat people right now, and I got an email just yesterday from another meat person. Well, they're a farmer, so I'm going to allow them access, but I let them know the situation. We have 3 currently, and at the end of the day, we've got to have a balance. So it's up to the market manager, myself, and my assistant managers to make that final call. And it can sometimes be tough, but if you have 3 jewelry makers, do you really need a 4th? And sometimes the person that wants to get in they can be a little upset, but you just try to explain that you can't have too many one thing because then it's not good for anybody. But it can be a challenge sometimes. But we've done really well, even with having vendors gone due to COVID. I think we've made up that difference with others that are looking to generate revenue.
So Jeremy Brown with us here on the MegaCast, market manager for the Oakland County Farmers Market. Jeremy, give us a little glimpse into the background of some of the vendors as well, because we do know this is not the only farmers market in town. So
Sure.
Is there kind of a shuffling for some of the farmers to try to get into one market versus the other? Or it's better when, I know Birmingham, they have theirs on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Well, some of the vendors do multiple markets. A lot of the vendors just do the one market because this market is large. Again, we've got a very long history, and we have nearly 200,000 guests that come through this market every single year. So for some, this market is more than enough, but some will do others. I don't know if I'm answering your question for you.
No, you are, yeah.
But some of the background, let's say, we have nearly 100 vendors that use this market throughout the year. About 45 of those are farmers, and the rest are divvied up between the handicrafters, again, the bakers, the metal workers, and stuff like that. Some of these vendors have been coming here since the 40s, a lot of them coming since the 70s. You can go out and see Blue Ribbon Farm underneath the canopy during the summer, and you see the father, the daughter, and the grandbaby, all there working. So it's actually, you have farmers that have, and their families have grown up here. They've learned how to handle money, how to work with customers and customer service. It gives me chills a little bit even talking about, the history of these vendors. You have Ralph from Julie's Floral Design. He's been coming since the 80s. He used to be out on the lawn, and he said it took him 15 years to get an inside spot, and he's not giving it up. So for me, it's, I'm the market manager. I built a relationship with these people, and, they really are my friends. It's not like one of our regular parks where people come in, they pay their entrance fee, they use the park, and they're gone. These people are my customers, and they're here all the time. And again, you get to know them. When there's a birth, a death, a wedding, a baptism, what's going on with their families. And, it's great. And I think the farmers have built that relationship with their customers here as well. I have people that come into me all the time, and, they do the old hand thing. I've been coming here since I was this big. And I always go to Greystone Gardens. I always go to Pre-Lit Farms, so they've built that relationship with these farmers as well. And it's, there's value to that. There's value to knowing your farmer. I always like to say, do Brian Penzine's potatoes really taste better? Or do I just think they taste better because I know Brian? So there's that relationship aspect of the farmers market. And the guests, they build those relationships with the vendors as well, which is awesome.
Do you anticipate this year is going to be busier? Because throughout the COVID-19 crisis, we have started to recognize and put a little bit more emphasis on educating ourselves here in the public about where our food source comes from. And more people are comfortable buying local now.
Sure. And, last year when the pandemic started, we had a lot more people coming here to shop for their produce, because you are taking out an aspect of the food chain. So whereas normally you go to the farmer, to the distributor, to the store, it's coming from the farmer direct to the consumer. And we definitely saw an uptick last spring, when everything shut down. We also were able to do a drive-through pickup model, which one of our vendors, Milford Spice, she made her website available to all the farmers. They posted all of their products by Friday, and they did all these orders, and we had a couple hundred drive-through pickups every day, which was awesome. But yeah, I think people are looking to come to an open air market, something a little less crowded at times. Again, it can be busy on Saturday, but I think just taking out one part of that food chain maybe makes people feel a little bit more comfortable.
Jeremy Brown with us here on the Mega Cast with the Oakland County Farmers Market. Jeremy, just another minute or two with you here on the show. I know that the market is about more than just going and buying your fruits and your vegetables and your plants. What other programs do you guys have going on?
Okay, so in addition to our Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays market, we will do a Sunday flower market this year. Last year we did a Sunday market as well to take some of that pressure off the Saturday. But we've continued this year with flower sales on Sunday. So if you miss, if you didn't pick up enough on Saturday, you can come back on Saturday and get something. But in addition to that, so we're planning this year's programs and events as if it's going to be a regular year. I don't know if we're going to be able to do all of those things, but so we will be doing yoga at the market. We have a big grassy area to the west of the market, and we can socially distance. So we have local Studio 8 in Waterford. They will be doing the yoga demonstrations, and historically we would have given out yoga mats like loaners, but due to COVID, we don't want people sharing stuff. The first 10 attendees will get a free yoga mat to participate. So we've got that going. We are going to do food trucks, but not the rallies that we've done in the past. We will do on the third Thursday of the month. We will be doing a featured food truck. They will be down there by the grill. So once a month, we'll rotate a different food truck. And then also we do have a food truck rally scheduled for September. I'm hoping that's late enough in the season to where everybody's gotten their vaccine and things are starting to calm down and we feel comfortable doing an event bringing in a lot of people. So you're still going to find food trucks here. What else do we've got going on? We're going to try and move forward with our community garage sales, which have been popular. We're working with the Kego Art Sale Group to do an art show in October. And then, we still, the Conservation District will be here with some advice on how to care for your lawns. And we're still hoping to have the Master Gardeners here doing their children's activities, as well as MSUE, Michigan State University Extension Health and Nutrition Educator as well, here doing some cooking demos and things like that. But unfortunately, everything is, subject to cancellation just due to COVID. But we're going to continue to try and bring things to the market, do all these added value things that Oakland County Parks has tried to do so much over the last several years.
Well, we're so lucky to have the market in the community and everything that you guys are doing. Plus, by now, we're so used to things getting canceled at the last minute. We go with the flow. But it's a lot of work in planning some of these events as well. So Jeremy Brown with us, Market Manager for the Oakland County Farmers Market. Jeremy, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And one last thing, you can always go to oaklandcountyparks.com to find out all the great stuff we're doing here at the market and the parks.
Great. Thank you. It's oakgov.com as well, right? Oakgov, and then you go to Farmers Market. And with that, because I'm on air, I'm marking the flower market on my calendar as we speak. I usually come in May, and then I have to come back in around the 4th of July because I've killed everything from May.
Oh, no. But I can tell you at the end of June, they start knocking the prices down on everything. So maybe, that works out for you.
Exactly. Also, it's like you said, the tip, go at the end of the day.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.